How's it going? I love props, I love armor. So this is kind of going along with that. Ugh. Props. Music, okay? You see that these two props have something in common. Both rich white guys. They're both heroes. Okay? The one thing that these both men have in the comics is money. And they're normal guys. In the real world, if you got money, you could do things and help people. The thing is, you don't need to have an armor, you don't need to have a cape and things like this to help people. So today's dose of advice is help people when they need it. Okay? So I had two examples today that happened. One, first one was I took our oldest son to school this morning, and as I was coming back, I usually go by McDonald's, get a smoothie, and I sit in the car and just scroll through Facebook in the morning or whatever other social media I have before I go in the house. So I'm sitting there in the minivan. I look over to my left and I see my neighbor, older Filipino guy. Name's DJ, great guy. Known him for like 15 years since we've been here in our house. And I'm watching him wheel out a hot water heater, a large hot water heater, and on a dolly. He put some cardboard in his pickup truck, and I'm sitting there watching him, and I'm like, what is he about to do? Is he about to load that in there? And I'm like, there's no way. He's like half the size of that thing. So I'm sitting there, and I took Appa with me. That's who's barking right now. I took Appa with me to go drop our son off at school, and so I had him in the car, rolled the windows down. It wasn't hot, don't worry, so it didn't even need to have air conditioner on. We just had the windows all the way down, and he was just like chilling, just sitting there barking and having a good time. But I walked up to my neighbor, and I waved at him and said hi, but he had his back to me. He didn't see my shadow behind him either. He didn't notice that. I got there right when he turned around. I said, "Hey, DJ, you need a hand?" He's like, "Oh, shit, you scared me." I'm like, "Sorry, this was broad daylight. Keep in mind." He still didn't say it. I thought that was funny. But there goes Q. But I asked him, it's like, "Hey, you need a hand?" He's like, "Yeah." "How'd you know?" I'm like, "You got a giant hot water heater twice the size of you, man. You're trying to load this into your pickup truck. You're my neighbor. I'm going to try to help you out." So he got on one side, I got on the other, and we kind of was able to get it tilted onto the edge of his pickup truck, and we lifted it up and got it in there and helped him out. He thanked me for it. It was an awesome feeling, you know. Another thing that happened today where someone needed help. In this case, it was my wife. She helped somebody out today, and it was a tough situation. I don't know how many people think about or know about children, whether they're preschool, elementary, that kind of thing, high school, junior high, that are unhoused, or as we say, homeless. There's a new term I heard recently called the mobile homeless. And these are people who can't afford to live in an apartment or a condo or a house, and they live in their cars with their parents. I found out today about a young lady whose parents both lost their jobs, and because of the COVID mandate ended, they were told to they were basically evicted. And to see this high school young lady, I personally haven't met her yet or seen her, but they were kicked out. Now they had nowhere to go. They ended up staying in a motel. Now this motel is like on the other side of town. She's still able to go to high school here, but my wife took it upon herself to, when this girl needs to go home after school, and she has a function after school, this young lady, my wife volunteers to take this lady young lady to a motel to where her parents are staying at, or a hotel. And my wife helped them get assistance in terms of food, you know, set up bus passes for them. She helped them out, you know. We should be helping our homeless. Everyone should have a roof over their head. No child should be on the street. No child should be living in their car or their vehicle with their parents. They should have a roof over their head, a place to call their own. If you have the ability to help somebody, do it. Like I said, it doesn't take money, a cape, armor. It doesn't take all that. Sometimes it just takes time. Help them look for resources, you know. I found out this young lady was doing her homework by candlelight because the power was turned off. We're considered one of the greatest countries in the world. Call bullshit on that. We treat our homeless like shit. Hell, we treat our women like shit. Taking their rights away. Taking education away from children. Giving them false narratives of what history was like. Yeah. You don't need this shit to be a hero. You don't gotta be white to be a hero. You can be any color you can want. You can be a hero. Just help out your fellow man. And don't ask for anything in return. Just help them out when they need it. If someone calls you and they need help moving, help them out. You know? I remember I became a little jaded years ago when my wife and I knew this homeless guy. He was a guy who was a veteran. He's a Vietnam veteran. He lived in Chinatown in San Francisco. And this is back when we used to go to San Francisco all the time. Every week we went to Japantown, Chinatown, the Wharf, Pier 39, that kind of thing. Presidio, Golden Gate Park. And Jim he was in a wheelchair. He had one leg, one amputated below the knee. And I remember telling him, you know, every time we come up there, we would get him food, you know, get him some cash or something that he can use to get by. And what made me jaded was this: when they had a McDonald's in Chinatown, and we went and bought him breakfast one morning and some coffee, and he goes, he growled at me and goes, "What, no cream and sugar?" With an attitude. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, you know what, let me go get that for you real quick. And from then on, we never saw Jim again. We were late, you know. We saw the same thing in San Jose at a 7-Eleven. There's a group of college students that were giving food to the homeless. And you'd watch these homeless people literally like take the food and dump it in the trash because it wasn't alcohol or it wasn't cash to go buy drugs or something like that. It was really sad, you know. Part of it goes to also those people that are homeless or that need help. They have to change their way of thinking. Instead of thinking of, let me get that quick fix to whether it's a drug or alcohol, let me see what I can do to get out of this situation, you know. But that also takes people, if they don't know, that takes people to for like an outreach program, to reach out to them to help and help them change their way of thinking, saying, hey, let's get you a job, let's get you a car, let's get you a roof over your head, let's see what we need to do to get there and get you off these streets. Yeah, they say money makes the world go round, but that money can't go anywhere without people doing it. Sorry, I just had a fly on my head, had a Mike Pence moment. That was kind of funny. Anyway, yeah, so that's my daily dose of advice today. Be a hero to somebody and help somebody out when they need help. That's all. All right, guys, signing off. Take care.